Hey everyone, thanks all for joining us this evening. Thank you for you folks that are tuning in later. Thank you for tuning into my channel and watching this video. I appreciate it. Give me a second for let's get some people into the room. I know there's a great football game on, so we might be missing some people. Winner of this game goes to the AFC Championship to play the Baltimore Ravens, either Kansas City or Buffalo. We shall see. Hello, Chris. How are you? Good to see you. All right, there we go. We got some more folks in here. Thank you all for tuning in. There's Tim. Yeah, Lions played a great game. Baker had a chance at a drive, and that guy made a great play and intercepted, and that was it. Yeah, that was really good. That was really good. 91 or 93, I think. I can't remember, since they've been in the last playoff game. They deserve it. They worked hard. A nail biter for sure. Yeah. All right, there we go. Hey guys, I see more people have joined. 93, yeah. The last thing, or the only thing I ask is if you do like the video, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you haven't. I do lives every Sunday and pop-ups at this time every Sunday, and then pop-ups during the week if something hits me. So you can hit that subscribe button and you'll get notified of any of my events. What else we got going on? I think that's it. We got Vern here. Hello, Vern. Good to see you. Chris and Tim. All right, I think we're good. So let's begin. Each week I have an idea, but if you go back and watch my videos, any of the ideas about my reality all lead to the same thing. They're all connected by this thread of commonality. Hello, Jackson. Thanks for coming in. Hello, Kevin. Thanks for coming in. And the theme of commonality, well, there's a whole bunch of ways to say it, but we can start by saying you create your own world, which is obvious. And that gets very confusing. It was very confusing for me because I didn't understand how I create my own world, and I didn't want this shit. I didn't want that. How did I do that? How can I not do that? And we all think it's thinking, and it's not thinking. It has nothing to do with thinking. Thinking is, dear Brenda, hi, baby. Daid, evil, Daid. Welcome. It's not about thinking, because see, look, watch this for a second, okay? Pay attention, because I got something for you, and it's very valuable if you want to change your life. If you like your life the way it is, good or bad or indifferent, it doesn't matter. Then you don't have to change, because no one's going to judge you except your own ego. The ego is the only thing that ever judges. So let's look at this. When a now happens, and it's so fast, bam, it's there. And then you react to it. That's the mind. That's the thinking. You're thinking about something that's occurred. Something triggered you to think about something that's want to occur. So you posture, humans posture, I postured all my life that this is how we control and create the world that we want. But not create as a manifestation, but we use the term, this is life, this is how it is, this is this is that. And we reinforced our beliefs, right? Hello, Virgo. We reinforced our beliefs because we claim that's what's going on. You have to see what's going on. You have to observe, what are you thinking? What bad are you putting in front of you? What choices are you cycling? What lives do you keep alive? What versions of yourself do you reinforce? Only you're going to be able to change it. You're the one that's creating your world, but it's not in the idea of decorating your apartment or poof out of the magic air. And look at me, I'm a god. Look what I can create. Stop. It's all about vibration. Everything is about vibration. It's the language of the now. There's videos on there. Write in the language of the now and search it on my YouTube and understand what it is that you're doing. You're vibrating. What you put out is what you get back. You're putting out vibes. You're not putting out thoughts and the idea of thinking. Those are the reflections of stirring around in your memory. Something happens and you're like thinking about it, and you're having a conversation with yourself and someone else about what's going on. Nothing's getting done except you're putting vibration into your vortex. Whether it's good or bad, it's regardless that it's good or bad, because that's not creating. Inauthentic is what's creating. That's what's being attracted. Authentic is who you're not. The inauthentic self is the imposter. That's the false God. That's I'm not God. I'm a human. And here's what's wrong. And here's what's right. And here's what I think. And all these ideas about these identities that we posture up and keep and do this and do that and all that good stuff. And that's human. But awakening is realizing, holy shit, look at my fucking world. I'm creating this by saying yes to this, by saying no to that, by saying yes to this, by taking this truth and behaving that way, which puts out a vibration that tells my world, this is what I want. I want this to remain. I want this to stay constant. So if you keep having painful days, sad days, great days, happy days, it's a relationship of truth. It's irrelevant if it's polarized. That's fucking the distraction. You got to realize these are beliefs. These are the truths. That's the recognition of your belief system saying, this here is what my mind says the truth is. So I'm going to behave that way. I'm going to stand behind that, and I'm going to create that world. That world is not better than any other world. It's not better than anyone else's. It's not better than anything in comparison. It's unique to you. Get off your fucking high horse to think you got a better world. That's the distraction of the children playing on the playground out there, running the world with their fucking violence and their positions of counterance to the what? To the other side, just to polarity. Think that's what it's about? Here, let's all wake up and use the same tools we've been using our whole life to make sure that we ascend. Stop. Hello, Jillian. Stop. You, the individual, create your own world. Here, my vibration, what I put out is what I attract. If I'm validating what I know to be true in my past, in my memory, because it was reinforced by reality, and there's no fucking way it's not true, then if I keep doing that, why would my life change? Why would I get a different relationship? I don't. I can't. I woke up. I saw me. Wow, my truth. I want to keep showing you this until you get it, because there's nothing else to know except the rest of the universe. But your little puny fucking ego mind can't handle creation. It can only handle the capacity of your own limitations that you encounter every day that you reinforce. You'll never go beyond those truths. No one can change you. No outside source, person, entity, thing is going to take it away. You have to deconstruct the truth in your kingdom, because where your truth lies, create your relationships. You're the only one who feels pain. You're the only one who feels hope. You're the only one who feels anxiety. I mean, of course, other humans do, because we share this commonality of beliefs, and that gives us the ability to have compassion and sympathy and empathy and relating to this and seeing their point of view and all that stuff. And then we share in our own wallow. We're better than that, masters. What we need to do is get out of a world of distraction and go into the internal world and start changing the relationships. Then you get different worlds. You have to have patience, though. It doesn't happen overnight. Don't be a fucking Veruca Salt and want it today. Don't want it now, Daddy. I want it now. Don't do that to yourself. Take the journey. Master up. Mature yourself. Stop trying to make it happen fast. That's where you're missing life. You haven't learned anything. You've only learned how to be painful. You only learned how to be positive. And you're not learning about creation itself. You're experiencing the fuck out of it. Oh, hell yeah. But wouldn't it be fantastic to start to understand it from an intelligent point of view? The God that's feeling all of this, that's taking it in through an unconditional perspective. Wouldn't you like to be that same self? Well, you are that same self, but this illusionary idea of truths that are interpreting the realities as they come in, all the light that's coming in, are getting filtered by these things, and you have to take them down. It would be exciting to talk about the aliens that are going to come. It would be interesting to talk about conspiracies or things that are bad and the UFOs. Of course there's UFOs. And yes, the government's going to cover them up. Why? Because there's money involved. There's fucking money involved. There's power involved. There's division because there's ego. These people aren't bad people. They're not evil people. These people came from your high schools, your neighborhoods, and they grew up and they became powered because they ran for Senate and they started off in local politics and they gained their idea and now they're running the world. Great. Who gives a fuck? That's not your world unless you choose it. You don't think my world's full of political people? Of course. Racists? Of course. It's all around me. But they don't go into my world. They don't come into my world. This co-created Ascension Earth is full of polarity. But I don't pay them any never mind because they can't get to me. And I can't get to them unless I choose. Because vibration is what creates. So if we're not vibing on the same frequency, I won't pull the version of that person. I might get the same person in my life. Oh, yeah, but there's 30 different versions of that person. And the one that's resonating with my vibration that is allowed in that idea of frequency match to co-create with me isn't a shitty person. I can make him shitty, though, by being shitty. Why do I want to do that? Because I have anger, because I have revenge, because that's not right. This is that. Stop. That's just what keeps you cycled. That's what keeps you distracted. You're fighting two sides of bullshit. Big piles and small piles of distraction, of just crap everywhere. Just crap everywhere. And it feels good, doesn't it, though? Feels good, the drama. The excitement of what someone does wrong. The excitement of revenge. Someone had parked in my parking spot the other day, and there's always a potential for me to lose my mind. Lots of things I can do about that. I just I let it go. I sat there and just let it go. And a guy popped up around the corner, and I recognized him. He was a neighbor, and I haven't met anyone really except on Christmas when a lot of family was around. We said our cordial hellos. And this guy was like peeking around the corner, and I popped out of the car and I said, "Do you know whose truck this is?" He goes, "No, I don't know her, but I saw her get out and she went up to the second floor of the first building right there." I said, "Okay." So instead of going knocking at the door and being angry or being upset or being shitty, I just called the office and say, "Hey, this is the person and they're in this apartment." 2 minutes later, they were out. Now I can be offended like maybe a typical Karen would because this person violated my reality. They should have known better. So I'm going to make them know. See, why would I do that? Why would I pull the version of that? Why would I represent that diarrhea in my reality and tell the mirror it's okay to give me that back? And the mirror will comply because it loves you. So I chose a different version of myself, and therefore I got a different version of reality. She comes running outside. She looked a little miffed. But what am I going to do? Nothing. It's not my business. She moved her car, her truck. It was a big ass fucking truck. All these Texas, goddamn, they build some big fucking trucks now, don't they? Anyways, so she moves the truck, and I take my little, my little putt and put it in there, and then go up and create my world. See, I don't need to put my energy out there, and that took work. That took a discipline to stop energizing selves inside because it was so alive and so appetitical of my old self to want to feed on that hungry lion, right? and say, oh yeah, give me the urn. Yeah, I can give. I don't. I don't choose to create those worlds. So first thing I got to recognize is the shit that's inside of me, because I am full of it. First one to let you know, I'm full of all this shit, all these belief systems. They're all crap. But without them, I don't have the human experience. But now that I've evolved past the validity of the human experience, being separated and not knowing you're a God, I've awoken, just like you have. You're not in front of me unless you're awake, period. You can't vibe in the same frequency. You have woken up, congratulations. Now what are you going to do about it? Are you going to keep the same posture going, the same habits, the same way of behaving, and look at the outside and saying that is affecting me? The outside's creating the inside feelings? No, you're not going to do that, because you're better than that. You're going to listen to what I have to say, and you're going to take it with whatever truth you have. And it doesn't matter what you do, because I love you either way, because I'm not depending on you, and you're sure as fuck not depending on me. I love you, Gabriel. Great to see you, darling. We're not depending on each other. We are reinforcing each other. We're offering each other what's possible in creation. So I put out the best light that I know. And every time I see my light turning to dark, I let it go. And I transcend and allow an unknown part of me to evolve and bring it forth and represent that to the world in whatever way I can, whenever I can, and in the best person that I am. And then when I see myself again evolve, I have the courage to release the old candidates of postures and release them and allow myself to be once again unknown, creating versions of me and allowing other people to create versions of themselves. It's good shit, I tell you what. So you want to do that for yourself. You want to look at the reality around you from a stillness, from a starting point of total surrender and humility, a stillness about the now, and saying, I can start to change it now. And you're going to get a shitload, a wave, a tidal wave of emotions that are going to show you every time you feel an emotion that is powerful and it is getting your attention. You are face to face with the belief system that you created just because you were separated. You coveted it from mom, dad, parents, grandparents, whatever, parental, teachers, guides, peers, representations, authorities, books, television shows, TVs, or movies, anything, any kind of input you took in, and you're like, oh, I like this, I like this, I like this, I like this. And it's none of it's good or none of it's bad. We don't operate in polarity anymore. All of it is potential. But now that you're awakened, there's a resonance inside of you that you can feel more than what your memory is telling you who you are. There's a greater portion of you ready to be released, allowed to be out. But each step you must choose the unknown self. Each step you must be okay. Taking the self of posture that other people depend on, giving you obligation and responsibility, and you don't know how to handle it. You're afraid of consequence. You're fearing your own existence. How can a God fear its own existence when it has been chosen by creation to exist? Therefore, you are blessed. How the fuck can you doubt your existence and call it into measurement? I'll tell you how. The human, that fucking ego that sits right there and goes, go, 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 go. In between this temple is your thinking mind that creates everything until you choose in the inner self. That's an authentic vibration instead of a structure that you can recognize if you discern, if you pay attention, if you do your work. It's laid out in this channel. And you do your work. The passions of the heart. You have ancestries. You have you have you have you have the now self. Remember when you did something and you never knew you how to do it? You just knew it. That's an ancestor. Don't put it in time for me, okay? Don't say it's a future life or past life or parallel life or another life. Just it's okay. We don't have to make things exact like the human demands. Be precise and be fact. Stop. Just relax. So you know how to do this naturally. Naturally, I'm a great fighter and a great athlete. I'm really good. I was very good at track and wrestling and very good at fighting, right? It's in my ancestry. It's not my mind. Are you kidding me? This mind doesn't know shit. It knows a couple of facts about the world. It knows that stuff then that it can regurgitate. That's what I'm going to rely on. I'm going to rely on that source to validate my reality and create it and guide me. Stop. I'm better than that. I am. I'm this. I'm all of these. There we go. I'm all of these selves. That's weird. I can't do that very well. Right? Why is it weird for me to think it's weird to be a witch? Because the time don't have witches. We're in the time of science and not magic. We're in the time of this, but we have religions out there quoting of this absentee landlord that has these people have hate in their heart, but they're supposed to be unconditional ideas. So it doesn't tell me that they're wrong. It shows me that they have a truth. And they're allowed to have that. So my relationship to witchcraft is a truth, and I'm allowed to have that. And I'm not doing anything with it other than exploring it. I'm not doing anything with my channeling other than exploring it. I'm not doing anything with my teaching other than exploring it. I'm finding out what's possible in creation, and this is the vessel that I have. This is the opportunity. I was given this to be an opportunity here on planet Earth, and I'm here, and I'm going to take full advantage of exploring through this separated mind so I can get a perception, an experience that I can't get as a whole God. I only can get it as this awoken self that I am. And I'm going to give myself that due diligence and give myself that earning that I've let's say, reap the earnings that I've sown, right? And explore whatever it is. You guys are gods. You are masters of creation. You are so beautiful, so big, but me filling you with all those things doesn't do anything. It just gives you the ideas and it might make you feel good, but you have to take that and say, I am that, and I've got to change me. I've got to make different choices if I want a different life. So you recognize and you choose these unknown parts of you instead of choosing the cycle parts. How many of you have anxiety about money? The money is always going to be there. Always. You don't leave yourself hanging. Even if it's asking someone for money. Someone might volunteer it. You have to surrender to the anxiety and choose the vibration of I'm worthy of myself this moment. This truth is my action that I will take. You don't live in the future. You don't live in the past. You live now. I talk about a lot about the same things. It's all about the relationship. I want you guys to see that. And I know a lot of you do. I know a lot of you do. I know that. I know that my life is changing. There's an evolution coming in my life. Talked about this in my advanced classes on Wednesdays. Wednesday's class, we had a channeler come in. Seth came in. So Seth was talking about evolution in the very, very mysterious unknown. See, if you think hard, what have you been taught? Okay, you've been taught fear, and to counter the fear, you've been taught. Let's call it security, safety, right choices. And when you make wrong choices, people let you know that. You make bad choices, people let you know that. And then you have to be a hero and recover and then earn their respect back. What the fuck is going on? I'll tell you. Human. That's why you don't engage in that world anymore. That's why you have to trust the unknown. And if you start to make those, what other people might think, crazy decisions about life, and then you start to make authentic decisions within yourself, not knowing where you're going to go, not having the safety and security of a fail-safe that lies ahead of you, only trusting that I am God and I will never fuck me over. I will always take care of me. I am rocked in the grace of my own existence. Right? And then you start to behave that way. And I felt the change coming. I felt the change. I've had many changes, but not like this one. This one's monster. This one's an internal monster that I'm releasing and allowing this new version of myself to be lighting up my reflection reality, my mirror to be put out and come back, and I will get new worlds. And I can feel that emptiness looming. And it's not filled with ideas of what's possibility because I gave up on defining my relationship with expectations, solidifying my future into a shitty fucking past. Because it's coming from my past. Why do I want that version when I can have the unknown version of creation? The unexpected reality of absolute bliss. Because fear is taught, but no fear comes. Fear is in your fucking head. It's not in reality. It's creating your reality when you're thinking about your fear, but it's not physical. Right? It's not about the outside, folks. It's about the inside. You have to journey your own way. Don't pay attention to anyone that tells you things that you have to do, you need to do. Those are people that you don't want in front of your mirror. Change your mirror. You don't want that reflection anymore. You don't want a leader. You don't want to be a follower. You want to be yourself and discover I am. Good, Gabriel. Good. The change is fantastic. Because if you're going to follow a leader, you're going to stay within the constructs of that perception that that leader says is valid. And it might be authentic for a while. But we are the change of constants. We are evolution. And if leaders are keeping followers, then you will remain a follower if you stay within the statutes of that parameters, of that theory or that those teachings. All I teach is here. It's up to you. Here, take it all back. It's yours. You do it. No one else does. It's all up to you. Forget about the fantasies of this and the other. Hang on. Let me skip this ad. Right? Forget about all the stuff that's not now. You won't. It's like, don't try to see the beauty in the now. Don't look for it. Don't be intentional about it. Surrender and be now. Relax. And watch your anxiety. Watch your mind start to tidal wave you with, what the fuck are you doing? You're not being the same person. And that's exposure of the things that have kept you who you were. Those are the things of work. That's recognition, transcendence, opportunity. And if you behave differently, choose differently, and don't enact the person that you know very well, and it's time to deconstruct that identity or that version of yourself and birth a new self, then I would recommend you do so. And then the change will come. And it's not about what job you have or what person you're in love with or about how much of this and how much of that. You're not comparable. Don't put yourself up on a fucking platform of comparison. That's bullshit. That's going to be an ego. Thank you, Jillian. That's just an ego. And your ego is pulling in comparison and wanting. Eleanor Roosevelt had said something fantastic. It was something to this effect. It's not exact. Small minds talk about people. Average mind talk about places. Great minds talk about ideas. Okay? Create ideas. Create yourself in the moment. The ideas will be there on how to behave. See, when you do an action, the action is truly unmeasured and unconditional. It's not good or bad. That lies right here. You're the only one who says, oh, okay, this is a non-responsible action because it's not earning me this, it's not being this, it's not being responsible, it's not creating abundance. So I'm going to do that. If I do it too long, though, it's not going to. See, that's your mind selling you a fucking story. This is a goddamn very good salesman, and you're listening to it. You awake to it and say, no, that's a belief. I can choose different. I can see something different. I can see something different. Right? Anyone have any questions? You learn to trust vibration. I teach little things in my vibrational tactician on learning how to discern the vibration. When I walk through a mall right now, I don't look at people anymore. I read their vibration. I feel them. That tells me everything about them. It tells me their entire story. You know what's the greatest part of all about that? Is that I'm not wrong. Because I've always been the beholder of my own truth. And it's only my ego that says I'm wrong. Only my fucking ego that says I'm wrong. How do I know? Prove it to me. See, that's the fucking ego. That's the fucking shithead that keeps you distracted. That's the false god. So, learn to trust yourself by choosing yourself. Get to know this unknown self. Say no when you want to say no and don't fucking negotiate. Don't ever negotiate with your worthiness anymore. Don't dumb it down. Don't give in to the feelings of embarrassment or guilt. Don't let people sell you a version of themselves so they can fulfill their reality at the expense of your worth. You're better than that. All right? I know it feels like I'll do a channeling sometime this week too, like have a channel come in. But until then, probably maybe Thursday or something of that nature. Feels like I have a movement. When you feel the now, guys, you don't put it in time, like in the future, in the past, as a certainty. You can just feel the opportunities. And they may play out in 100 years, they may play out in 20 minutes. It doesn't matter. You don't try to make it so, because that's then changing posture and thinking, and that structures your reality and limits the amount of information that can come in. So, but I can feel there's a vibration of a channel coming in, so I know I'll do that on a live this week sometime. Feels good. All right, guys. I love you. I do. You all enjoy your Sunday evening. And look for me on the pop-up this week. And if not, we'll see you next Sunday. Take care, everyone. If you need anything else, let me know. Check out my website. I got classes, although they've already started. And, of course, the LA channeling is up and coming in April. Take care, everyone. Love you all. You're welcome, Chris. Thanks, Vern. Bye, Jillian. Gabriel, Virgo, Daid. Take care, Jackson. Love you all. Good night, everyone. Bye, Brenda. Bye, Kevin.